The number one source of friction in your engine is not what you think. Piston rings rubbing against the cylinder walls generate more friction than any other part of the engine. More friction and temperature means more wear and less horsepower. Fortunately, the team at Total Seal knows how to reduce friction and wear through innovative piston ring design. If it takes a piston, Total Seal can build a better ring.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
This is WFO Radio.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to WFO Radio NHRA Nitro. I'm Joe Costello, and our parade of 2025 champions continues. We're in the Lucas Oil Series. We're speaking with champions, and we have got our right trailers top dragster world champ, Casey Plaizier, first ever to go north of the border. He joins us now. What's up, champ? Welcome to WFO. How are you?
I'm doing great, Joe. Thanks for having me on.
We had such an exciting season, the 74th season of NHRA drag racing. We come down to the wire. You are in right trailers, top dragster. In my opinion, one of the most challenging categories. I don't know how you guys do what you do at the speeds you're doing it. Bracket racing at over 200 miles an hour. You come into the final race. There's multiple drivers with an opportunity to win. Ma Nature tells us all, you're running it all on Thursday, full event Thursday, and the championship would be decided. At the end of it all, you're holding the trophy. I want to talk about all of that, but let's start at the beginning. You had a pretty good start to the season. You won a couple of races. Walk us through your season and bring us to the finals.
Well, I started the year in Super Comp. My dragster is obviously not the ideal. I'll say it's not the ideal top dragster, but it also is. But I start the year in Super Comp and just sucked out loud. Didn't do well at all, and which was always the plan, to go to D7 Super Comp, and then when I come back to D6 to run top dragster, because my car's slow, so we'd be able to qualify. We go to Boise, we win Boise. We go to the first Acton race, we win that. So obviously, if things are looking pretty good to start the year. We go to the second Acton race, and I turn it 1 red first round. And that's a bit of where the mid-season skid kind of came in. Had to regroup a little bit for the Woodburn races, and we kind of just divisionally, we kind of just steadily put up points. Cooper Chun is he's my right-hand guy. So we went into the Seattle double divisional in August, and we knew if we could put points up there, we'd be in a great spot. We'd likely win the division, and we'd be in a great spot to be, a top 5 national player. And I say we didn't do anything spectacular in Seattle. I think we had a quarterfinal finish and a semifinal finish. So we didn't do anything spectacular, but we put up points that put us over 400. So it was just, then it was time. We got to hit some national events, and we got to close out the year with something to have a really good shot at the world.
Wow, that's wild. You mentioned Cooper. He is kind of a beloved character, fighting cancer, coming back, having great success, loves drag racing, real, next gen, next level talent. And, he's part of your squad. And I know Aaron is part of your squad. And you guys hit all the West Coast races. I've seen you down in Firebird and all.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting perspective. It's like, all right, our divisional score is good. We got to go to the nationals.
Yeah. And that's where Aaron really came in. So in July, I said to Aaron, I was like, hey, if I'm leading I think I led the division all year. So, and I was like, but if we can put up a big divisional score, we were kind of talking like, hey, if we put up 380 plus divisionally, we need a fast dragster. So July, early part of July, I go down to Medicine Hat, which is about a 5-hour drive from Edmonton. That's where Aaron Steinke lives and Mark Simmons. So we go down there for a little bit of a party weekend. And I said to Aaron, I'm like, look, if I do well at the Seattle double, would you be willing to loan me a car or for me to rent a car or just something where I could qualify, Dallas, Vegas, Pomona. And he says, if one of the boys has a shot, we make it happen. And that was it. He said, I don't know what car you'll be in. I don't know what engine will be in it. We will have a car that you'll be able to qualify to head south with. So we finished the Seattle double divisional. I call him up and it's late August and he's like, hey, come down next weekend. We're putting you, he said, you can take my Ultra Tech with a 632, 9 degree and a plate. You could take the TNT with either a 632 with 2 kits, a 674 with 1 kit. We can put the 781 with 2 kits, and we just figured what was best. And we tested and it was slow and we sucked. And then we tested the next weekend and it was better. And then we had some problems and it just kind of spiraled from there.
That's awesome. So for me, it's important that fans of John Force, right? Like that's my term for average drag racing fan that's buying a ticket to see something amazing and maybe don't fully understand that there are thousands of guys like you and me that you to a much stronger degree, obviously, but like you're planning this, you're plotting this, you're strategizing where to go, what to be, what to do. And in this case, you needed a car and a friend stepped up and made it happen. Like that investment of time, money, resources, just your life, your family's life to achieve this goal.
Yeah, and that's literally it. I mean, I've been doing this I'm 36. So I've been racing since my dad bought me my first Super Street car when I was 16. So you could say it's 20 years in the making, but really winning a world championship was never on my radar, never on my bucket list because it's so difficult to do. I tell people, when you're good, the guy you're racing can't be that good. And when you're bad, the guy you're racing has to be worse. And if you have car trouble, that guy needs to have worse car trouble. And when that guy does have car trouble, you need to make good runs. There's all these things that you could be the best and you can have the best car, but if things don't go your way, it's no different than life or golf. You get good breaks from bad shots and vice versa. It's really the same as that.
It really is. It really is. And you can't control it. And you got to manage just the anguish.
Yeah. That's it.
All that will happen. All right. So we go to the finals and you're in the running. Jessica Eastburn contending for her first championship, was doing well back east. Darian Bosch, who ended up winning the top sportsman world champion, was in it, but was not contesting out there at the finals. And as I understand it, you had to win the race the way it all turned out. But before that, Ma Nature affected the race, as everybody knows. And NHRA made the call, and Jason Galvin, I got calls, everyone got calls, everything changed. And I was told, like, hey, guys, we need you to just camp out on the top end. We're going to run the whole race on Thursday to its conclusion. You're on champion watch. And so me and Nikki Sheely, the social media maven down there, we're just camped out, feeling this thing play out. And first round, you got Cody Weber, former champ. You're perfect on the tree. Start there, because this is like one of those, dream scenarios. Like you have to win, and it seems like it can't happen, but it did. So walk us through and pause before the final.
So I'll just back up a little bit. It's the Wednesday before the race. My wife, Celeste, my little guy, Keys, my dad, Eddie, and Cooper, all of us head to Disneyland on the Wednesday. So we're pulling into Disneyland and I get a call from Galvin, and he's like, hey, we're right into round 1 tomorrow. Okay. I don't get too wound up about that. It's nothing we can control. Cooper's in full-on panic mode because he had just withdrawn from Top Dragster. So I was like, well, I should have stayed in and we could have, done something or played a bit of a ladder game. But we're like, hey, don't worry about it. And then, texts start rolling in and people are like, hey, Top Dragster would be laddered on national points. Which then I would be, in theory, I'm third in the world, but and Jessica's second in the world. So, and Darian's not there. So the number one qualifier would be Jessica, and the number two qualifier would be me. So in theory, Jessica would get a bye first round. So this whole buzz, I'm talking to Darian, and people are starting to be like, hey, NHRA, you got to give a qualifying hit. There's a world championship on the line. Darian would just lose a world championship essentially via a bye run. So in the end, Mike Rice, Galvin, everybody that makes these decisions, they gave Top Dragster a hit, where it's like, hey, if you make a qualifying hit, then the ladder's set. So that kind of got that whole drama out of the way. But since—
And we pause there for a second because, look, everyone, I'm a contractor for the NHRA, but I shill for them from time to time because I feel like when things go terribly negatively, they definitely catch it. And so in this case, they got to the right decision, right? Like under pressure, they listened to the racers, the racing people in there. Josh Peterson, I'm sure Ned is in there. They're all in there. Like, we can't let that happen. And they fundamentally changed the course of the day. Like, that qualifying hit changed, advanced the ball to the end of the day when you're being crowned champion. Like, weather is coming in as it's happening, but they took the risk to do the right thing. I think it's worth saying.
I said it in my speech as well. They made the right call, and it didn't really. If Jessica had a bye run, it didn't impact me regardless because I was in third. But it would impact Darian. Would definitely lose the world that way. So me, I wasn't in that. I wasn't in that. It didn't impact me immediately there anyway. It actually just didn't impact me. So I was just saying, to Galvin, the right thing is just have us go up there, random pair like every other class. And he's like, Casey, the rules don't say that. So the rules say if you have no time hit in Top Dragster, Top Sportsman, and Comp, it's laddered off national points. Okay, so if that's what the rule says, then so be it. But if alcohol could get, I think they were scheduled for 2 sessions and then it went to 1 session. And it's like, well, if alcohol can get a session, there's only 26 Top Dragsters or 24 or 23 at this race. You can run 11 or 12 pairs. That's 12 minutes. You have 12 minutes runs, and that's what they did. But when you talk about that changing the course of the day, both Ty Gaynor, who's a good buddy of mine, we both ran 7:30 with a 9 to qualify. But he had a bit more mile an hour, or he did it first, so he's ahead of me on the sheet, and he ended up running Aaron Steinke in round 1. So I was literally 1/1000th away from running Aaron Steinke round 1, but instead I get, another good buddy of mine, Cody Weber, former world champ. But I hop in my car for the qualifying hit. I let go. I thought I was late. The car, it feels like something's wrong because I'm so used to going 640s in Aaron's car. Now I'm back in my car. It's slow. And I turn the corner, get the time ticket. I'm 007 and 7:30. And it's like, hey, this is right where it needs to be. So Cooper and I think we put 8 or we put 4 in the box from my 007, and then we ended up going perfect first round. Completely. Okay.
That's a little information. Well, right. Well,
yeah.
So you're feeling it. Like, that's the thing. I hear racers such as yourself talk about, I was 007. I put in 4 to be 11. This is 11,000th of a second. You're like metaphysical, and the nerve endings and the feeling, and there's adrenaline, and there's a championship on the line, and you're at Pomona, historic Pomona, running for a championship. Yeah. And so you picked up 11,000.
Yeah. And that's, whether we were amped up or maybe the car rolled in a touch deep or whatever it was. I mean, obviously in no scenario would I set up perfect first round. I actually think I added 4 from my 7. And I called Cooper over and I was like, what do you think? And he's like, weather's gotten worse. It's brighter out. You probably only need to add 2. So we added 4 and then took 2 out. So we were really only had 2 more in from my 7. But, there's another scenario where thousandths of a second change. I'm 1 red. And at that moment, it would have been done because I think Jessica had won round 1. She'd be the champ. Darian would be second and I'm third. And that's
wild.
That's it.
Casey, that's wild. Like, that's sportsman drag racing right there. For everybody out there, what he just said, like that decision with the little button about the number, what should we do? It came up perfect, but it could have easily been 001. That's why I mention these racing gods all the time, like the force that controls that. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's not
that's what it is.
There's an element of cosmic. So you're going to the next round. You beat Cody Weber, you're going to the next round. Hey, your reward, Tom Bayer.
Tom Bayer. Yeah. And Tom Bayer beat me the week before. I don't know if he beat me at the Vegas National or Vegas Divisional, but he was like 002 and just whooped me. Never want to run Tom Bayer. He's always good. One thing that was cool is I went up to him. I'm like, hey, you're the faster car. What lane do you want? And he's like, no, I went under 610. He went 608 or something. And he's like, so yes, I'm the faster car, but I don't have lane choice because his run essentially is,
DQ.
I don't want to say just DQ'd, but so he's like, Casey, you have lane choice. And I was like,
that's some real sportsmanship stuff right there.
Huge sportsmanship. Huge. And like, he didn't have to do that. I went up to him and said, you're the faster car, pick your lane. He didn't have to do that.
He could have told you, let's flip for it and given himself a chance.
Right. And he could have just taken the lane that he wanted and we carried on. But I had Tom and my car goes 730s and Tom was going like 616 or 610. I picked him up in my mirror and I was way out there. So I gave it a couple kicks and we're both above. And, then we roll on to round 3. We have Val Torres Jr., who again, very good West Coast bracket racer.
In a 2-for-1 race, by the way. So imagine race fans, you're at home, he knows the ladder. He sees what's going on. Like Val, tough racer. The winner gets a bye run and you're getting closer and closer to where you want to be. How are you managing your energy at this point? Like, is there any point where you're getting over center?
I get fairly wound up on a good day. So, plus we're living off rock stars on elimination days. So, Cooper and I have been looking at the ladder all day. We know what's going on. And it's like, we're watching Aaron as well. And it's like, if Aaron can keep this going and we can keep it going, like we know we have a bye to the final. Once Jessica Eastburn won round 1, we had to win the event. If she had lost round 1, I only had to make it to the finals. So that was kind of a big turning point there. We knew we had to win the race. Val Torres, I don't know the exact numbers, but he was dialed 705 in the previous round. I think he went 706. The weather had gotten worse. So Cooper and I are like, hey, he's probably coming up there with a 706 or 707 on the car. And we get up there and he's like, what are you down? I said, I'm down 705. And Cooper and I, immediately look at each other. We're like, okay, he should be dialing slower than this because it's slowed down quite a bit. So and maybe he knows something we don't know, like this is just our thoughts. So we dialed up a couple, was good on the tree again, had a little bit of room, kicked it 2 or 3 times down there. That wind light turned on and, everyone says, act like you've been there before, but that's a pivotal moment. You win that round. I know we're in the finals and, fast forward 10 minutes, it's either going to be Mo or my buddy Aaron in the final. It's going to be one of us. Right.
Wow. Okay. So that's really interesting to pause on. I love hearing you talk about this strategizing. And for anybody that says, the only real type of racing is where you keep your foot on the floor all the way down to the 1320 and drag racing. It's like you're getting a window into what top end racing is all about. The strategizing, It's slowed down, it's sped up. What are they doing? What are we doing? That's really interesting. You get the 2-for-1, you're going to the final. If Mo wins, you're going to have to run one more round to win the championship.
Yeah.
If your great friend Aaron, who helped you get there, wins, I feel like you should have felt like you're the champ in that moment. Like that's what I would have felt like. Cause so when Aaron wins, did you feel that feeling like that's it? It's over.
It was, and Aaron and I hadn't talked about, hey, if we run, I won't show up. We didn't talk about any of that. And now Aaron's as loyal of a friend as you could get. He does it for the boys, and we set out with a goal, and that's what we were coming there to do. So one of the coolest moments is their NHRA is like, hey, do you want your bye run before them or after them? I was like, no, I'll take it after. So they pull up, and I just pulled in behind Aaron because I kind of thought, hey, if Aaron wins, he's not going to show up for the final. And if Mo wins, I'll just be in the right lane. Mo takes the left lane, which he's already running. So I pull up behind him. I shut my car off. Cooper's kneeling beside me. I can hear Galvin on the mic talking, and he's like, these guys aren't just country mates. They're very good friends. They're teammates. They're both from Alberta. And, I think in my head, Aaron's a very good driver, but I think in my head, I'm like, Aaron's winning this. There's no way he's not winning this. But then for a little bit, it set in. I'm like, if he doesn't, we have to make a run right now. Whereas if he did win, we were just going to take the tree. And my heart is absolutely pounding. And I say to Cooper, I was like, I'm nervous here. And it was like slow motion. My car's off. I can hear Galvin. I'm watching Aaron and Mo take off. I can see Aaron. I'm like, it looks like he's way out on him. And he was 5, 6, 700s out on him. And Aaron's wind light comes on, and it's like, I'm fist pumping in the car, but my arm restraints are on, and Cooper's high-fiving me, and Kevin Dalglish, which is our Aaron's crew guy, good friend of mine, helps me a ton through the chase here. He's going nuts on the starting line. I see my dad over here, and it's like, I said to Cooper, I was like, are we going to be world champs? And we fire up the car, drive around the burnout box, take the tree, back up. And this is where I'll get to a cool part. So, I back up, head back to the trailer, and Aaron and I, our trailers were pitted back to the back doors open to each other with a road in between. So he had gotten back already. By the time I took the long way, came back, I walked to the back of my trailer, and he's standing at the back of his trailer. I put my arms out. I was like, are we world champs? And he's like, I won't swear here, but he's like, we're world champs, baby. And you talk about a championship moment. My wife's there, my dad's there, my little guy's there, Cooper's there, and Kevin, Aaron, Kleinweber's coming over, our buddy Willie, and here's Aaron and I just, hugging in the middle of the road. That something we set out to do. We get to experience it, and the way the plan worked out, you could never have dreamed it to work out that way. It was unbelievable.
Wow, that is so cool to hear. I'm feeling like I'm second guessing my positioning. Like we should have been at your pit is where we should.
That was so people say, they're like, well, you didn't get your championship moment because you didn't run a final. Like Chad Weber won a final to win the world championship. He had to drive the final to win the world championship, whereas I had to, take the tree. And but that wasn't the championship moment. The championship moment's a couple guys hugging and crying in their pits. That what we achieved, what we set out to achieve, is what we did.
And Aaron didn't try to bust your chops at all with like, we're gonna race it.
He said he walked over and he said, my car's broken.
Ah, that's great.
And he said, I'm going up and tell. He's like, my car's broken. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to go up here and roll the beams or red light. Or he's like, my car. I'm choosing not to run.
I admire that.
Yeah, he's not. Aaron's a no bullshit kind of guy. He's like, I'm not wasting people's time. We're not putting a show on. We're not doing any of this.
You didn't insult the intelligence of the viewer and your fellow racer. And so when it's happening, I'm down there at the top end and I'm just like taking it all in. And people can say whatever they want until they're in the situation after an entire year of hard work and investment, and they find themselves in that situation. When we speak with our Super Comp winner, we're going to talk about that, right? Like, how did the opponents allow that to happen? Sorry. Those are the breaks. Like, this is championship drag racing here. You get to the final round. The idea that Aaron would do anything other than what actually happened is alien to me. So I admired the way you guys did it. You just said,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I do. I think no show, no risk, no, like, oh, we don't, no wasting of time.
Yeah.
Leave one at the trailer. World champs.
We chased this, the championship chase in the last 3 months probably cost us $50,000 between Aaron and I. And which is kind of insane when you say that out loud, but
a little bit.
But we put cars together. We traveled all over the world or all over North America for 4 weekends. I was down. Aaron and I were testing different converters, different transmissions. We put all this effort in. If we didn't do that, and and let's just say Aaron did beat me, people would say, you guys are absolute morons to invest all this time, all this money, all this travel to then go and do this. You guys are morons.
Ridiculous.
So
It's not an option.
it's not an option. This is what we set out to do. And it's just, that's the way it turned out. I also say, I'm like, did you see how I was driving that day? I mean, what, we're just going to assume if Aaron was in the other lane that he beat me? Aaron was driving good, but so was I. Like, these are, we're playing.
It's kind of let's not even go there because it's a ridiculous sentiment.
It's just ridiculous.
Right. It's ridiculous sentiment to even consider. And oh, by the way, to everyone else out there, don't let Aaron get to the final and you don't have this problem either. And so
that's it. It could have easily gone a million different ways.
Yep.
And it's like as you said, Chad and Bill Weber lined up against each other first round of SuperCom. Like it or not, there's no rule that says you can't do that.
So one round, it's the one round you can.
Very, very smart. Cody and Jeff Lane did it all year in comp. So there's 5-6 wins, where Cody's 50 red and Jeff's 100 green. Again, that's if you want to have the luxury of being able to do that, spend the money, get 2 cars, go travel everywhere to do this, and then you can make that exact same decision. People did it in Top Dragster this year. I became pretty good friends with Darian Bosch and his dad after all this, and he's like, we do the exact same thing. That's just, we're out here to win a championship, so that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I the more you dig into the world of Lucas Oil Series Championship drag racing, you're going to find there's a lot of layers of strategy going on. That's another thing that I felt a little like bummed, is that as round 1 Super Comp was pulling into the lanes, I was headed to the top end to get in position. And that must have been a very cool scene to see the 2 Webers like pull up there and the reactions of everyone else. Like how did the opponents allow that to happen? You got to get there at 3 a.m. Like you got to be in the lanes at 3 a.m. Like, sorry, we're first car here.
That's just it. And, I feel bad for Chris Whitfield. He put up huge points all year, but that's just the way.
Yeah.
If that's the way it was meant to go, then, you could play the what ifs on a bunch of other races kind of the whole way through. But if that's the way it was meant to go, then that's just what it is.
Well, I like what Galvin told you. And for folks out there that, Jason's doing a great job. And, what do the rules say? I've heard that several times over the course of the year, many through the pros, where people say, well, why can't, what does the book for this season say? And the book says this. Well, that's what you got to go by. You can't just take the rule book and make things up
right
and change them as you see, like maybe for next year, if you wanted to change that rule, whatever it is, we could talk about it. But what does the book say for this year? And they went by it every single time. So I think it is great. Who do you want to thank for this amazing accomplishment?
So obviously my wife, Celeste, I've got a little 2.5-year-old baby boy, Keezer. He's an absolute monster. Loves Wally's. Had a little tuxedo at the banquet, so that was cool. My dad, Eddie, he obviously gives us the absolute best equipment. His wife, Doreen, we call him the Bank of Eddie. You can imagine why. So he's put a ton into our racing operation. Cooper Chun's been with me all year. So he drives when we have big dollar bracket races in Canada. He comes up, drives my car. He won $50K in it this year in Canada. So he's huge help. Aaron Steinke, obviously, I wouldn't have been able to actually truly chase the world because, I went 3 rounds in Vegas that my car wouldn't have qualified at. And that's in my point total. So Aaron Steinke, we had a crew guy on the team there, Kevin Dalglish. He, fills the nitrous bottles. He's our chef. He's the pusher, the tower, he sets up the awning. He fuels the cars. He does absolutely everything there. My sister Frankie throughout the year, helping us out, all my family and friends, just, truly it takes so many people to be able to achieve that. Unexpected, really unexpected, but yeah, it really just, I got so many family and friends to thank along the way that, we'd be here all night if I was listing them off, but truly just it takes an absolute village of people to make it happen.
Yeah. Who else is on the side of your car here?
So Dan and Tammy from Rad Torque Systems, that's a huge, they support drag racing, obviously, with Dallas Glenn, Justin Lamb, myself.
Dan had a pretty good year this year.
Yeah,
The
3
Rad
world
Torque Systems
championships.
crew.
Yeah, they, you need, I just said this at our division banquet, you need guys like Dan and his wife, Tammy, people that love drag racing, people that support it on an NHRA level, on a bracket racing level. You need people that are dedicated like that and support us. We've been with them for 11 years. So absolutely huge support from them. Harold Parfett from Ace Manufacturing, been with us for 25 years. So it's been great to have that support. Robert Farron and Marty from Hoosier Tire, those guys have looked after us on all 5 of our cars. So Impact Powder Coatings, CGT Industrial, Endura Paint, these all these companies, kind of get together to make all this happen for us that we're greatly appreciative of.
Super exciting, a world championship effort, and you tell a great story, Casey. I love it. All right, what about
Thanks, Joe.
The 75th season of NHRA drag racing? Like, now it gets better because you get to have the number 1 on your car going around. I want to know what your plan is. We got these diamond stand wallies. There's a whole lot of extra going on. Are you going to try to defend the title? Are you going to just race a little? What's your plan?
I mean, I think the plan's always defend it, but it's talk is cheap. It's a little easier to say to defend it than actually do it. I think if we can finish top 10 in the nation in Top Dragster, I think that'd be awesome. We're still going to chase Super Comp a little bit to start the year, just kind of plan our schedule, a little bit of Super Comp, a little bit of Top Dragster, and just see near the end of the year how that all shakes out. But yeah, Diamond Wally is really what we're after.
Got to get one. Everybody got to get one. It's like at the divisional level somewhere, there's a Diamond Wally with your name on it.
Absolutely.
Casey, thank you for making the time. I know you're busy. I appreciate the insight into the championship and all the genuine storytelling. Really good stuff. I want my listeners to understand that there's a lot of great stuff that's happening in the Lucas Oil Series, Right Trailers, Top Dragster. Honestly, driving from behind against 220-mile-an-hour cars like Tom Bayer, I don't know how you do it. Like, I bracket raced. I love bracket racing. It doesn't make sense to me what you do. Can you tell me how you do that?
Little bit of luck, some good strategy, and I'm a mirror guy. So, I'm one of the few dragsters out there that has mirrors on it, and I rely very heavily on those. I had them on my Super Gas car, got them on the Super Street car, put them on the dragster. Just got to be smart. I got Cooper on my side there helping dial, and that honestly makes a big difference. We got to know what the car is going. Just go out there and make a good run.
That is awesome. Casey, congratulations on your world championship in 2025. Good luck in 2026.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Your Right Trailers Top Dragster world champion, Casey Plaizier. What an amazing event. Gets to the final round, wins the final race to become a world champion. It doesn't get better than that. It's an amazing story coming out of the world of NHRA drag racing as we get excited about 2026 and the 75th season of NHRA. Congratulations to the whole team and everybody. You put on a great show. I watched every round, and it was fun down there watching them go by. They're going another round. They're going another round, making laps, turning on win lights. And when they finally got it done, it was a moment of jubilation. When we come back, we'll have some final thoughts right here on WFO Radio.
For more than a decade, FTI has strived to become the leader in the aftermarket performance transmission and converter industry. We've joined forces with McLeod Driveline Components under the leadership of Top Fuel Funny Car pilot Paul Lee, and now have a larger distribution network, more resources, and more power. Come see us in the pits and ask how you can join the FTI family. It's not cheating, it is the competitive edge.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Redline Oil, formulated to win.
Formulated to win.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me.
Redline Oil,
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Looking to replace your OEM diesel particulate filter or diesel oxidation catalyst? Look no further than DPF XFit, a complete line of aftermarket diesel particulate filters and diesel oxidation catalyst designed as an exact fit OEM replacement with all makes coverage for light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks. With thousands of units in stock, we ship the same or next day, and be sure to check out our comprehensive reverse OEM lookup tool. Always new, never remanufactured. For more information, be sure to visit dpfxfit.com. That's dpfxfit.com.
And we are back, WFO Radio. How about Casey Plaizier? Just a great job. And that is why I say that the In-N-Out Burger Finals at Pomona is probably the greatest single race, because you don't get that feeling and experience anywhere else. And I know it's maybe, one of the blemishes on 2025 that we didn't get to run every category out to its completion. By the way, if you look at the weather, it's practically still raining out there since then. Hopefully it clears up before the Winter Nationals, Lucas Oil Winter Nationals coming up in 2026. But what a great job with Casey and Aaron Steinke and those guys. I talked to him a couple times throughout the weekend, and hearing his version of how it all played out and having to be nimble in their strategy, the way they're going to be, like they're at Disney World. No, they're racing tomorrow. I love the fact, and I was aware of that debate, like what do we do? Well, you just run them. You send them out. No, you can't just send them out, because if you do, then someone's championship will be dashed because of a buy run, because of the weather. That just doesn't seem right. And so they adhered to the rules. And yeah, I'm sure somebody out there is thinking, well, Joe's making too big a deal of adhering to the rules. But I think that that's what happens all the time. You adhere to the rules. You go by the book. And if you don't like what the book says in the off season, you change the book, or you discuss it at least. And they got to the right place. They did it in rapid time. And I think it was a great job for Casey and everybody involved. And being down there at the top end, watching people who had their hopes, dashed or, come up a little bit short. I know Jessica and her team, they gave it their all. They made a run. They came out west. They chased the championship. That's what it's all about. And I think about myself, I hear Casey's story. Like, I don't know. I think I'd fall to pieces. I think I would fall to pieces in that situation, like with a championship on the line and all this pressure and knowing, and he just stayed on it. Really amazing. Before we get out of here, I got a couple of people I want to tell you about, people that are very helpful to the drag racers of the NHRA and the world, like Larice Motorsports Insurance. Guys, the Larice family wanted a product that didn't exist, so they created it. To me, like, what's more American entrepreneurial spirit than that? They cover race cars, trailers, tools and equipment, pit vehicles, motorhomes, all under one motorsports policy. And their coverage is easy. They have off-track coverage, which is a base policy. You can also do on-track coverage. That's a different deal. But where the car's in storage, in transit, at the track, in the pits, in the staging lanes, and up to the water box. Think about that kind of coverage, the things that happen in the water box. Coverage pauses at the water box. So up to the water box, but at the water box, the coverage pauses and then picks back up on the return road. There are a lot of companies out there, some of the big companies out there, that when you're on the return road, you're not covered. When you're pulling into the lanes, you're not covered. If you've got race fuel in your trailer, you're not covered. If your car is on a lift pulling out and something, not covered. And that's the difference between having racers write your policy or just an insurance agent write your policy. And that's why Larice Motorsports Insurance is now on board with WFO Radio, so I can explain to you those differences. Go to Larice Motorsports Insurance.com, get a quote, check out their website. And I like to think I'm an example. Guys, look, I work very hard, and I have a nice place to live, and I've got cats. And if something were to happen to my racing operation, I could not afford to just go replace it. It's been built over a lifetime, and that's why I have insurance. That's it. So go see the folks at Larice. Go see Holden, talk to them at the track, any one of their brokers, whether it be Jake or Jeremy Lerke or anybody. They are out there to talk to you about their great product. Also, HusseyPerformance.net, David Allen and the team. These guys, gaskets, right? Just that simple. Quality copper head gaskets, exhaust gaskets, gaskets for alcohol cars. You go look around, Hussey is on many of the cars, but not just copper anymore. They have beautiful composite gaskets. They are cut, laser cut, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. Here's a number. It's just when you think of gaskets. If you're a WFO guy and you need gaskets, just call these guys. 412, just blind loyalty. 412-716-4872. Unlike Marvin Rodak, I haven't memorized the number yet. 412-716-4872. David Allen, his dad, they are pounding out gaskets. They are at the track. They're coming up with new technology, and they are inviting you to try it. So reach out, give them a call, and check out HusseyPerformance.net. Speaking of Marvin Rodak, I talk about Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com all the time, and it's because Marvin has been with the show since the very beginning. And if you want to support WFO in the most minor of ways, and you like coffee or hot sauce and spice rub and grills and grilling and barbecuing and tools and tips, go to Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com, RODAKS. Remember the Rodak Cadillac from the Stampede of Speed? That Marvin Rodak. Yeah, he's involved. 817-924-6821. Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com. If you think you can order online, Marvin is an old school dude. So you got to call him and have a nice conversation about the kind of coffee you like and what region of earth you want it to come from. Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com. Also, our great friends at Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. The Dragster adventure is what I think. Like, if you've got friends and family that don't quite understand drag racing, the addiction, the passion of it, you can send them on the Dragster adventure for not a lot of money. And they'll learn and understand what you're into. Go to frankhawley.com to find out more. Shout out to all of our sponsors like Foggett. You can get a can of Foggett at summit-racing-equipment.com. After you put away the world champion Dragster, you got to fog it down to protect the inside of the cylinders while you go celebrate. It's that simple. Foggett protects the very finely honed, literally, cylinder finish in between races and overnight. And it's a product developed by Gary Stinnett, and Steve Williams is part of it. And between them, they got 5 world championships. They know a thing or two. So get your can of Foggett at summit-racing-equipment.com. Our friends at Bernie's Speed Shop. This is Josh Hart, new John Force Racing driver, Brittany Force's dragster. Pretty amazing. Josh has got over 100,000 square feet up at Bernie's in Ocala, Florida. They're spreading nationwide, setting up new shops. But really, if you've got a collector car, if you've got something you're looking to sell on consignment, they're always looking to add inventory to their dealership. If you're looking for a frame-off restoration, perfect car, or if you got something you want to do, they do that too. They do everything. Movie props. They've got an engine shop. They do it all. Bernie's, BURNYZZ, home of the Gainesville Fan Fest coming up in a couple of weeks. And you've heard about Redline Oil, and of course, you've heard about FTI and our great friends at Total Seal and Larice and Jesse Converters, Matt and Eric Latino. Catalytic converters for your, how do you get to the track? The diesels, you need that over-the-road replacement, OE replacement. For your particulate filters, that's the DPF X-Fit. If you've got a high-performance car with cats, that's G-Sport. Check them out at jesseconverters.com. And that's it for this edition of the Parade of Champions. I'm super excited. Casey got me fired up. Dynamic personalities in the Lucas Oil Series. Justin Lamb, part of this Parade of Champions. He and I had a great conversation, and we were talking about the NHRA Vice show, which is on Vice, about the Mission Food Series and drag racing. And I was saying how I wish that becomes successful, because the characters that we have already cultivated in the Lucas Oil Series of all categories, top to bottom, are amazing. And it's an honor to know these people and know how hard they work, and they're so successful in their lives, like regular. And then they challenge themselves extra to get to the track in the NHRA, to drive literally thousands of miles to chase these championship dreams. And, some will say, oh, it's not nitro, and I don't care. I'm only about nitro, and I love nitro. I get it. It's the show. It's why the average person buys a ticket. But if you're a drag racing fan and you listen to the show and you watch the show, if you're cruising by on YouTube, Walk through the pits at the NHRA. Go meet some of these people. What they're doing is very hard. It's a very great challenge, and you should check them out. Guys, you can get your WFO swag online, WFO link in the chat. Get your Project Pontiac gear. We've got sweatshirts, and we got Miami Hollywood t-shirts, and we got it all. And remember, WFO is on PowerTube TV. You can watch us on PowerTube TV. Download the app for Apple, Roku, PowerTube TV. And maybe you want to become a Patreon, patreon.com. That way you can hear the Hear It From Heiner Pro Stock Show. Deep dives into the world of Pro Stock. Congratulations to all of our Parade of Champions winners, and in particular, Casey Plaizier, Wright Trailers, Top Dragster. Great job. You got it done. WFO.